Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Justyna. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today I'm going to talk about the seventh house in astrology, the house of relationships, partnerships. So in astrology, the seventh house is associated with partnerships and relationships, and it represents how we relate to others, both romantically and professionally. Now, this house is often called the house of marriage. However, it can also indicate business partnerships, contracts we have with other people, and other types of collaborations. Now, the sign and the planets that are present in the seventh house, on the seventh house cusp, can provide really valuable information about how we approach relationships, what we value in our partners, and what we may need to work on in order to have more fulfilling and harmonious connections with other people, with others. Now, additionally, the seventh house can highlight potential challenges or areas of tension in our relationships, such as power struggles, anything to do with communication issues as well, or perhaps conflicts in values. Now, by understanding the energy of the seventh house, we generally can gain a greater awareness and clarity about our relationships and make more informed decisions about how to navigate them. So here with the sun in the seventh house. The sun in the seventh house indicates that you place a really great deal of importance on your relationships and partnerships, and you are likely to be someone who seeks out close one-to-one connections with others, and you may even feel incomplete without a significant other in your life. Now, in personal relationships, you are likely to be warm and loving and generous, and you may have a very strong desire to please your partner as well. Now, with this placement, you may also be attracted to strong and confident, charismatic, even individuals who can match your level of energy and also enthusiasm. However, here with the sun in the fourth house, you may also struggle with issues of codependency, and you may need to learn how to balance your own needs with the needs of others, of your partner or business partner. Now, professionally, having your sun in the seventh house indicates that you may do really well in fields such as law, counseling, or public relations where you can use your natural charm and ability to connect with others to your advantage, more specifically. So here with the sun in the seventh house, you may also excel in positions where you can work really closely with a partner or team rather than working independently. So overall, having your sun in the seventh house suggests that your relationships and your partnerships are really important in your life, and generally that you may derive a great deal of your personal fulfillment, personal satisfaction from these important connections, one-to-one connections in your life. Now, when it comes to the moon, with the natal moon in the seventh house, this placement suggests that your emotions, your emotional well-being is really closely connected to your relationships, your partnerships. And overall, you are likely to be someone who seeks out close and intimate connections with others, and who values harmony, who values balance in these close one-to-one connections, relationships. Now, in personal relationships, you might be highly sensitive to the needs and feelings of your partner, and you may have a very strong desire to please them. You might be also attracted to individuals who can provide you with emotional security, emotional stability, and overall, you might feel really connected to your partner on an emotional. You've got this ability, Jenny, to connect on that emotional level. And now, something to watch out for here with the moon in the seven houses. This placement can also indicate the tendency to be overly dependent on your partner and to sacrifice your own needs, your own desires in order to maintain the relationship. So perhaps you may need to learn how to set healthy boundaries and to prioritize your own emotional well-being. And Professionally speaking, having your moon in the seventh house suggests that you might do really well in professions like connected to social work, counseling, psychology, generally professions that will allow you to use your natural empathy, emotional sensitivity to help others. Now, you might also excel in positions where you can work closely with others, build strong, supportive relationships, for example. So overall, with the moon in the seventh house, this placement suggests that your emotional well-being is really, really closely connected to your relationships and partnerships, and that you might need to learn to know how to balance your own needs with the needs of your partner in order to achieve true emotional fulfillment. Right, so look at Mercury. So here with a natal Mercury in your seventh house, this placement suggests that you place a really strong and great deal on the importance of communication, intellectual connections in your relationships, partnerships, and overall, you are likely to be someone who enjoys lively conversations and debates, and someone who also values intelligence and wit in your partner. Now, in your personal relationships, you might be highly communicative, articulate as well, and you might enjoy exploring new ideas and perspectives with your partner. Now, here with Mercury in the seventh house, you might be also attracted to individuals who share your intellectual curiosity, who can challenge you mentally. However, here having Mercury in your seventh house, this can also indicate a tendency to overanalyze your relationships and partnerships and to be overly critical of your partner's communication style, for example, or intellectual ability. So perhaps you may need to learn how to know how to balance your analytical nature with your emotional sensitivity in order to avoid coming across as insensitive at times. Now, professionally, here having Mercury in the seventh house, this placement suggests that you might do really, really well in careers connected to journalism or public relations, law, anything generally that allows you to use your natural communication skills and ability to connect with others to your advantage overall. Now, you might also excel in positions where you can work closely with a partner or team rather than working independently, for example. Now, here, the next planet is Venus. So here with Venus in your seventh house, this placement suggests that you put a lot of attention upon or importance upon love, upon harmony, upon beauty in relationships and partnerships. So you are likely to be someone who is highly social or charming and diplomatic, and someone generally who values harmony and balance, especially here in your personal relationships. Now, overall, in your personal relationships, you might be highly romantic, affectionate, and you may have a natural talent for creating a beautiful and harmonious environment for you and your partner. Now, you might be also attracted to individuals with displacement who are charming, attractive, generally people who share partners who share your values, who share your interests. However, having your Venus in the seventh house can also indicate a tendency to idealize your partner and maybe even to overlook their flaws or some negative qualities. So here you may need to learn how, to know how to see your partner more realistically with displacement. And perhaps this is about developing a balanced view of your relationships in order to avoid any disappointment or disillusionment, for example. Now, professionally, having your Venus in the seventh house, this placement suggests that you may do very well in careers connected to fashion, to design, art. Now, when it comes to Mars, so having your natal Mars in the seventh house suggests that you are a highly passionate, energetic individual when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your partnership. So you are likely to be someone who is assertive, direct, independent in your personal relationships. and perhaps someone who values strength, someone who values courage in your partner. And in your personal relationships, you might be highly competitive and driven, and especially here, you might really enjoy a good challenge or perhaps even a debate with your partner. You might be also attracted to individuals who are strong and confident and generally who can match your level of energy and enthusiasm. Having your natal Mars in the seventh house can also indicate a tendency to be argumentative or perhaps confrontational in your relationships. And perhaps you might struggle with issues of power and control. So here you might need to, if this is the case, you might need to learn how to channel your energy and assertiveness in a more positive and more constructive way, in order to avoid becoming overly domineering or impulsive. Now, professionally, having your Mars in the seventh house suggests that you may do really, really well in fields such as sales or entrepreneurship. Generally, fields where you can use your natural assertiveness and drive to your advantage. Overall, having your natal Mars in the seventh house suggests that passion or energy and assertiveness are really, really important here in your personal relationships, in your partnerships, in your relationships overall. And perhaps you might need to learn how to balance your desire for independence, your desire for control, with the needs and desires of your partner, especially if you want to achieve that true harmony and balance in your personal and professional relationships. Right. So Jupiter, having your natal Jupiter in the seventh house suggests that you are someone who values growth, expansion, and abundance in your relationships and partnerships. So here with this placement, you are likely to be highly sociable, optimistic, generous. Now, you might also enjoy meeting new people, and you might enjoy exploring new places with your partner, foreign places. Perhaps your partner comes from a foreign place, land. Are likely to be someone who is idealistic, romantic, and you may have a natural talent for bringing out the best in your partner. You might be attracted to individuals who share your values, who share your interests, and overall individuals who can help you to grow and expand your horizons. However, having Jupiter in the seventh house can also indicate a tendency to overextend yourself in your relationships and to be maybe overly optimistic at times or unrealistic even, especially about your partner's abilities or potential. So you might need to learn mm, to balance your desire for growth, expansion with a more realistic view of your relationships in order to generally avoid disappointment or disillusionment, for example. Now, professionally, having Jupiter in the seventh house can really help you excel in professions connected to education, international business affairs, law, generally professions that where you can use your natural optimism or your ability to connect with others easily and harmoniously. Now, you may also excel in positions where you can work closely with a partner or a team rather than working independently. So overall, having your natal Jupiter in the seventh house suggests that growth, expansion, abundance are really important for you, especially in your relationships, in your partnerships. And also here, you might have to learn to balance your idealism with a more of a realistic view of your relationships here in order to achieve that true and emotional fulfillment. Now, Saturn, the Lord of Karma, Saturn in the seventh house is a placement that can indicate serious and a rather responsible approach to relationships and partnerships. And you may take your commitments really, really seriously. And you might have a very strong sense of duty, responsibility towards your partners. Now, here with this placement, you may also experience challenges or delays, especially when it comes to forming close relationships, as Saturn's energy can create obstacles or limitations in this area. However, with patience and perseverance, this placement can bring a really deep sense of stability and commitment in your partnerships. You might be attracted to partners who are mature, who are responsible, who are older, who have a strong sense of integrity. Now, here with displacement, you might also excel in fields connected to business, counseling, as your Saturn in the seventh house can give you a natural aptitude for navigating complex interpersonal dynamics. And here, displacement is essential to remember that Saturn's energy can also manifest as fear of insecurity in relationships. So it's really important to here to work on building self-confidence and trust in your own abilities, and here by embracing the lessons and generally the challenges of displacement, one can really cultivate a strong and lasting relationships, partnerships that can bring a sense of security, a sense of stability in life. Uranus. Uranus here with Uranus in the seventh house. Uranus can bring a unique and unconventional energy to relationships, to partnerships, and generally the seventh house here is associated with one-to-one connections, relationships, including romantic partnerships and business collaborations as well. And here Uranus is known for its innovative and disruptive energy, which can bring sudden or unexpected changes, unexpected events to these areas, to this area of life. And here with Uranus in the seventh house, you may have a strong need for independence and freedom in your relationships. And this can generally lead sometimes to a fear of commitment or a tendency to avoid traditional relationship structures, for example. So you might be attracted you might attract partners who are unconventional or who can challenge societal norms in some way. Now, here displacement can also bring a desire for intellectual stimulation and communication in your relationships. And here with Uranus in the seventh house, you might be attracted to partners who are intelligent, who are witty, who have who have unique perspectives. With displacement, you might also enjoy debating or discussing controversial topics with your partners. Here, overall, with Uranus in the seventh house, Uranus can bring excitement, unpredictability to personal relationships and partnerships, and it can also bring challenges. As you navigate the tension between your need for independence and desire for connection and partnerships. So here, learning to balance these energies can lead to a massive fulfillment and to fulfilling and transformative relationships as well. Now, when it comes to Neptune in the seventh house can bring dreamy, idealistic energy to relationships, to your partnerships. And generally, the seventh house is associated with one-to-one relationships, including romantic partnerships and business collaborations as well. Now, Neptune is known for its mystical and otherworldly energy, which can bring a sense of idealism and fantasy to this area of life. And here with Neptune in the seventh house, you may have a very strong desire for a soulmate connection, a deep connection, a romantic partner who can fulfill your dreams and ideals. And you may also have a tendency to idealize your partners or see them through rose-colored glasses, which can sometimes lead to disappointment or maybe even disillusionment. Now, here, displacement can also bring a strong sense of empathy and compassion to your relationships. You might be highly sensitive to the needs and emotions of your partners with displacement, and you may have a natural ability to nurture and to support them. So you may also be drawn to partners who are creative, who are artistic, who are spiritual in some way. And overall, having Neptune in the seventh house can bring a sense of romance, a sense of idealism, to the love life, to the relationships. And it can also bring challenges, especially when it comes to navigating the tension between the desire for a perfect partnership and the reality of human imperfection. So here the challenge with displacement is to learn to balance these energies in order to be able to form deep and transformative connections with others. Now, Pluto in the seventh house. So with Pluto in the seventh house, Pluto can bring a powerful and transformative energy to personal relationships and partnerships. Now, the seventh house is, of course, associated with one-to-one relationships and connections with others. And this will include romantic relationships, partnerships, business collaborations as well. And Pluto is known for its intensity and depth, and this can generally bring a sense of depth and power and transformation to this area of life. So here with Pluto in the seventh house, you may have a very strong desire for control and power in your relationships. And this can sometimes lead to issues with jealousy, possessiveness, or maybe even manipulation. So you may also attract partners who are intense, who are powerful, or perhaps who are transformative in some way. And overall, this placement can also bring a strong desire for intimacy and connection in your relationships. So you might be drawn to partners who can help you to transform and perhaps evolve on a much deeper level, on a very deep level. And you may have a natural ability to understand the shadow side of others. And here with Pluto in the seventh house, you may also have a talent for uncovering hidden truths or secrets in your relationships. And overall, here, Pluto can bring that sense of intensity and transformation in relationships, but at the same time, it can bring challenges as you navigate the tension between your desire for control and the need for healthy boundaries and mutual respect. So, here, the goal or the challenge is to learn to balance these energies in order to achieve deep and transformative connections with others. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much. And this is what I've got for you today. And until the next time, bye for now.